It's the 1995-96 season, and Kanye West is about to be drafted into the NBA. Now, that is only 6 years before he would be getting into a car crash that would mess up his jaw and the rest of his NBA career. So I'm giving Mr. West until October of 2002 to win an NBA championship. And once he gets to 2002, I'm giving him the Jay Williams treatment, forcing him to retire because he got in an automotive accident. Kanye would be drafted to the Vancouver Grizzlies at the #1 overall spot. In his rookie year, obviously he won Rookie of the Year, putting up great numbers like 13 points and 10 assists a game, but this wasn't going to be an easy rookie year as he would go through multiple different teams. He went against players and teams like the Jason Kidd-led Dallas Mavericks. In the second round, he'd have to go up against the Kevin Garnett Timberwolves, but after beating those first 2 rounds, he was met with the hardest challenge yet, and that is a Phoenix Suns team that is led by a prime Charles Barkley. Kanye, though, would beat Charles Barkley in only 5. After going through some of the greatest players in the Western Conference, Kanye West would make it to the NBA Finals in his first season, but he would have to take on Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. After putting up a phenomenal rookie season and a great run in the playoffs, unfortunately, Kanye would lose in 5 to Jordan, and Jordan would win Finals MVP. Now, in each season of this video, there will be a new rapper drafted into the NBA. And with the very first season, J. Cole has been added to the NBA, getting drafted by the New Jersey Nets. Now, if you've watched my channel before, you're probably confused on the very beginning of this video. It's being recorded and presented in a different style than you would usually see on my channel, and that's because I recorded this entire Kanye West in the NBA video. All of my audio is corrupted, so I'm using this opportunity to try out a new style and a new type of commentary. So if you enjoy this type of video and you like the My NBA type stuff, before we continue with Kanye West's career, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe and like up the video. Moving on, in the second season, Jason Kidd, the guy who lost to Kanye last season, would end up winning MVP, and J. Cole would obviously win Rookie of the Year because no one is better than a young J. Cole. Not only was J. Cole playing well, Kanye West was hooping in his own right, finishing the season by averaging a triple-double. He also put up great defensive stats, and this was noticed by the media and the league as they would give him the Defensive Player of the Year award. And with his car accident only a short 5 years away, he was determined to make sure that he won an NBA championship before his career is cut short. And once again, Kanye West and Hakeem Olajuwon, a great duo, they would march all the way to the NBA Finals and run into Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. This year, a little bit better than last, he would go on to win 2 games, but unfortunately, Jordan would then sweep him clean off his feet to win an NBA title. Kanye is defeated for a second straight year, and we move on to the next season. During this offseason, Hakeem Olajuwon left the Vancouver Grizzlies and signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. Leaving Kanye West by himself, the rest of the league would continue to get better, as Drake would be drafted to the Phoenix Suns, who recently just lost Charles Barkley in free agency, and Charles went on to sign with the Denver Nuggets, and that Nuggets team is something that you're going to want to remember because they get a little important in the future. With the team being a lot worse and Kanye West's best teammate being Big Country, he would still end up making the NBA playoffs. Coming off another Defensive Player of the Year and a great season averaging a triple-double, he was faced against a massive challenge in Kevin Garnett and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Not only that, but the Timberwolves recently picked up Big Z, so they had a loaded group of big men. Kanye would try his best, but he would actually end up losing in 6 to the Minnesota Timberwolves and miss the NBA Finals for the first time in his career. The league would get even harder for Kanye West as the MVP of the league, Jason Kidd, would leave his team and join Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Jordan has already won countless championships, and now he adds the greatest guard in the league to his team. At the end of that 1999-2000 season, Jason Kidd would win his second straight MVP, and Travis Scott would win Rookie of the Year, averaging 28 points a game. Kanye is not no slouch either. He would continue to be one of the best defensive players in the league. This season is probably Kanye's best season yet, though, because he averaged a 19-point triple-double with 2 steals and a block a game, which are very similar to the numbers he's been averaging, but his scoring and his shooting percentages have been going up throughout the entire course of his career. And this is where Kanye's career gets a little bit worse, and I'm not talking about a divorce with Kim Kardashian. He would face that Travis Scott-led Nuggets team who also had Charles Barkley in the very first round. And unfortunately, in that first round, he would be swept by the rookie Travis Scott and old Charles Barkley, who would then go all the way to the NBA Finals and would win an NBA championship, with Travis Scott becoming your Finals MVP. With Kanye West running out of time and Travis Scott becoming one of the best players in the league, it was looking very grim for his NBA future. On top of all of this, Kanye has now run into a second dominant team he needs to be worried about, as the Sacramento Kings, who drafted Kobe Bryant a couple years ago, have just signed Shaquille O'Neal in free agency. One of the greatest duos of all time have once again teamed up in this universe as well in Sacramento. Kanye running out of time with only a couple seasons left, this was his biggest season yet. With an old friend in Eminem getting drafted, Kanye West stepped his game up a little little bit, as in his 5th NBA season, he would go on to win MVP. With an amazing stat line of 26 points a game, 9 rebounds and 9 assists, along with 2 steals and a block, he would go on to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in that same season. In the very first round, an MVP Kanye West would make quick work of a Ray Allen-led Clippers who also had Karl Malone, so Kanye showing he's a little bit better than a pedophile. But as he advanced to the second round, he would meet that challenge we talked about earlier. A dominant duo of Shaq and Kobe coming off of their best season together yet, Kanye West was tasked on beating 2 of the greatest players of all time. Although he was only the 3rd seed, he was definitely an underdog in the situation against a 2nd-seeded Sacramento Kings, and Kanye would go on to win that series against Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. But it was not smooth sailing from there, as in the Western Conference Finals, he had to go up against another massive duo. This duo that just came out of nowhere is Allen Iverson and Paul Pierce, 2 of the greatest scorers of their generation now teaming up, and Kanye West was met with another difficult task. Unfortunately, it would be the same result as last season, as he would lose in the Western Conference Finals. As Allen Iverson and Paul Pierce would go on to win an NBA championship, Kanye West only had 1 season left to acquire his dream of winning an NBA championship. We then flash forward to the final season of the video and the final season of Kanye West's career, and the MVP of this season is Kevin Garnett, who left the Minnesota Timberwolves and joined that Nuggets team. Charles Barkley recently just retired in the offseason, and they needed somebody to replace him. On top of that, Michael Jordan also left the Chicago Bulls and Jason Kidd, and would go on to join a Nuggets team led by Travis Scott and Kevin Garnett. With one of the scariest big threes in NBA history looming over his shoulders, Kanye West would still have a great season, winning another Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 27 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal, and a block for that season. With these numbers, he would actually lead his team to the 1st seed. In the first round, he once again quickly beat that Ray Allen Clippers team. He would then beat the Phoenix Suns in the 2nd round. In the Western Conference Finals, he was facing off against MVP Kevin Garnett, an old man Michael Jordan, and a superstar of the league in Travis Scott. With his back up against the wall and only 1 NBA seasons left, Kanye West was put up against the biggest challenge of his NBA career. The series would go back and forth with both teams trading wins, and eventually we would get to a Game 7. But in the Game 7, Kanye West was burnt out and tired of carrying his team, and due to a lackluster performance by Kanye himself, he would actually lose Game 7 to the Denver Nuggets. They would go on to win an NBA championship. Kanye is upset and sad because Kanye West doesn't pursue music in this world. Instead, he decided to take a bottle of Henny and drink and drive. Unfortunately, this would result in the car accident of Kanye West's career. This brutal car accident would cut Kanye West's NBA career short, and in only 6 seasons of his short NBA career, he averaged 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, and 2 steals. But due to his injuries sustained in the accident, he was forced to retire from the NBA. And that does it for Kanye West's career. I hope you guys enjoy the new format of video I had to do. And if you want to see more celebrities get put into the NBA, click the video on the screen.